Live League Game of the Day. mooji6 versus Spritemare. Grit versus Sasha.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Semi-original guy, aka Mr. Cannon from Advanced Wars by Web, bringing you another Live League Game of the Day. Today we are on Downright Batty. This is a Fog of War matchup with Triple Base Airport and Calm Tower support. Now, this is a Fog of War matchup. We have Spritemare and mooji6 as our players today, Grit and Sasha as the CO. So I think this is going to be a pretty interesting one, folks. It's a map. This is definitely one of the maps of all time, folks. Tons of laboratories on the map. Very slow reinforcement from all the bases here, being behind pretty much god-awful amounts of tiles here. We have sea tiles, we have mountains, we have rivers. The only real reinforcement ranges over here are pretty much down here and or here or here, and this base is pretty much just over here. So definitely could be some fighting in this area, going to be lots of fighting in this area, and might be a little bit of fighting in the middle, but probably not as much as on the sides. I think the sides are where the real fight is going to happen here, but I could be wrong about that, folks. Who knows? But I think it's going to be an interesting one. We got lots and lots of potential on this map. Now, Grit could be a really good pick. Kind of slow reinforcements, though. I kind of do favor a lot of direct combat on this map. But, I mean, if we let Grit snowball, he does Grit things, folks. So, hopefully, this is a good one. Sit back, enjoy, and let's see what went down in the Live League today. On the first few days, folks, you all know the deal. It is the standard infantry builds, because you gotta get the infantry on the field. It is the #1 priority in Advanced Wars by Web, after all. That is so weird. Okay, so not black hole. No, we can be yellow comet. Boom, there we go. All right, weird. So this map does have a little bit of an extra little dynamic to it as well, folks, with these laboratories. They are owned by the opposing army by the looks of it here. So there's going to be a lot of intel that those labs can give for unit reinforcements. Pretty much every single area that you can see has to be walked over by, or you have to walk over the labs in order to get there. I mean, the only reinforcement range that you can get that doesn't give any intel is over here and over here. Now, you may have to cap those labs in order to get some sneaky reinforcements into the middle. But is it absolutely necessary? I wouldn't say it's absolutely necessary, but would definitely increase your reinforcement range if you don't want your units to... if you don't want your opponent to know what you're building, essentially, you know? So at the very least, I would say probably this lab should be capped. At the very least. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, obviously, Spritemare playing as the Grit player. I mean, you already know what the Grit player is going to be building. You know, it's not really anything out of the ordinary there, folks. You know, it's going to be the arty party. That's what it is. But as for mooji6 playing the Grit, you never quite know, or not playing the Grit, playing the Sasha, you never quite know what Sasha's going to build. Alright, so, okay, we're capping one of the labs already, so good. I like it. Gotta cap those labs, folks. Like I said, bare minimum should at least capture 1, maybe 2 of the labs. I would say this lab that mooji is going for is definitely a lab that should be captured. This one right here should be captured also. Although you could kind of sneak your way around it, but you're going through the forest, and you're kind of messing up your reinforcement range to the center. But like I said, I can see a lot of fighting happening on the sides of the map here, so we'll see what happens here. Spritemare busts out the first tank of the game here. Easy buy for sure. Day 5, mooji, 9,000 funds in the bank. Got the T-copter on the field. Beautiful. Capping another one of the labs. Foregoing the capture on the lab and actually going for one of the neutral properties. I think that's a pretty smart move. And just recertifying the capture on the lab the next turn. Okay. Tank on the field. Recon on the field over here from mooji6 as well. Gonna be a pretty strong recon. Gonna be getting a lot of intel out of that bad boy. Grit has the first artillery of the match, folks. Whoa. And things just got awfully bolty up in here. Alright. Mooji once again foregoing the capture on that lab and just throwing the infantry forward, and now has an infantry in the center of the map ready to capture those properties. Spritemare is nowhere in sight. Nowhere in sight to stop those captures. Ooh, this could put Mooji in a very, very good position. Alright, good utilization of that black boat. I think this tank is playing pretty conservatively, actually. Is there anywhere else we can go with this tank? Not really. You know, we could go up here and... we run the risk of the tank being spotted, to be completely honest. So, I mean, playing it more safe is definitely okay. I wouldn't mind if the tank got vision on the property, though. That would be nice. Anti-air. Alright. Beauty. So this is a really good thing from Spritemare, actually. A lot of Grit players will just join the arty party right away and just go pure arties, but in Fog of War, you can't really do that. You have to get a diverse army on the field. You gotta get tanks, anti-air, maybe some copters, and then throw as many artillery in the bunch as you possibly can. But you need vision and you need frontline units in order to hold your own trap card over there. Beautiful. Alright, battlecopter on the field. Mooji definitely knows how to handle a Grit. You gotta get the battlecopters on the field. Definitely a high priority. Possibly priority number 2 in Advances by Web. Aside from standard infantry builds, of course. Alright. Kind of a curious location for the artillery to go. Now, this kind of puts the arty in a place where it can't really defend past this point. It's going to have to loop around, and that's like a 2-day reinforcement to get back to the center. It does cover these two properties, though, but if there was a unit to 2-hit KO right here, you would lose vision and you wouldn't be able to fire on it. But I understand the concept of it, which is nice. You got to get that defense, but Mooji sees it. So I don't think Mooji is going to be going in and yeeting a recon just to get a 1-day interrupt here. Battlecopter rushing, and Mooji has control of the center now. There's definitely a lot of control there. Ooh, battlecopter, transport copter getting another boosty, another 2 tanks on the field. Recon moves backwards and foregoes to capture over here on the left-hand side. I think that's smart. Don't really want to be fighting into there any longer than you need to. And now we got ourselves a little bit of a showdown here, a little bit of stare down. Mooji's tank does not want to push in. Doesn't know what kind of arty parties are in the darkness. Ooh, 7-6 trade. Doesn't clear, but gets it down to 1. Alright, arty is now moving because the 2 properties are acquired. Okay, so now the walls begin, folks. The walls begin. The artillery are pushing. Recon moves in, snipes out an infantry, and tank moves to cover. Okay. We're gaming now, folks. 30 infantry over on the left-hand side to assist with that capture. Now Recon moves over to the left-hand side as well. And tanks are moving in. Oh, that center is looking absolutely powerful over here from Mooji with the battlecopter rushing the front lines as well. Very risky maneuver because we don't know if there's an anti-air in position yet. But maybe we do. I don't think that we have any intel of anti-air showing up yet, so I think that's pretty okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would have preferred it to go this way so that we didn't give the intel of the anti-air, but sort of a minor thing for sure. But now that battlecopter knows that he definitely can't push in over there. Oh, and plus there's vision. Plus there's vision. We could have sat in the forest. Forest probably would have been a little bit better. But hey, is what it is, folks. Alright, got the old double head over here, taking out an infantry. Does not have vision for the artillery to get a shot on either. Very unfortunate stuff right there. Oh my god, Mooji's pushing the center hard. Could potentially get that capture. I don't know if Spritemare is going to push up and try to interrupt, or if he's going to just hang back here, but let's find out. Comm tower in the corner is now being acquired over here from Spritemare. That is going to put a massive amount of power on those indirects. Those indirects are going to be 140% firepower with +1 range. Oh boy, that can definitely be some strong stuff. Artillery in position to lock the city now. Going for the capture. 2 cities locked. Things are looking okay now. So this is one of the dangerous things, you know. Grit could be behind, but if you don't get a really solid position on Grit, then he can definitely snowball and get those artillery into position. But now Mooji is pushing in, getting the interrupts, not really giving a whole lot of respect to the Grit artillery over here, just pushing the infantry up. And that is about it for that turn. Just putting the rest of the units into position. Doing a really nice job here of keeping the army together, though, folks. In Fog of War, it is really important for you to form death balls. You want to have at least a large chunk of units together, because if you have 2 small armies around the map, well, one small army could get taken out by a large army, and then you just end up losing the game. So keeping your army together in one big chunk, at least then, at the very least, you have your entire army versus their entire army. So you're not gonna just lose from just sort of dabbling, you know? Can't be dabbling, as D just says, you know? Boom, boom. Double hit. Infantry clear. And the units are moving in. Join Caps in the center, trying his best to get that property, getting a recon on the field. Definitely need the vision here, because co-powers are charging pretty quick. And Grit in Fog of War without vision, his co-power is basically useless. You can't shoot what you can't see, folks. Oh, and we got the market crash. You know what? For a moment there, I almost forgot that we were fighting against Sasha. There goes the co-power, and there is a huge push right here. But, ooh, that's pretty, yeah, that's a good push. It's a good push, but Grit definitely has some play here. There's definitely the possibility of hitting both of these battlecopters and a few of these tanks for sure. Let's see what Spritemare decides to do here, but there's definitely potential for a counterattack here. Depends on how risky he wants to be. Alright, Spritemare, let's see what we got. Going for a tank hit. Already hit. Clear. Ooh, gets the clear. 7-4 trade. Not really the best, unfortunately, but, you know, is what it is, folks. Join capping once again, desperately trying to get this property. Sitting on 1. Needs a 2-tap in order to stop that capture now. Oh, anti-air rushes up into the heart of danger over here. Has absolutely no idea what it's rushing up into, but it clears an infantry. And now Grit once again has a co-power. Sasha, like 19k away from a co-power. It might be a little bit difficult for them to acquire at this turn. I don't know if they're going to have enough, but they might. But if they don't have enough, Grit can definitely cause some havoc with the co-powers here. Oh, gets the clear on the art and the anti-air. Oh, and attacking another artillery. That is a dangerous push. Dangerous push now. Okay. Oh dear. So Grit's gonna have super snipe. Super Snipe. We can get one extra artillery hit over here. This infantry needs to go. Like 100% though. Tricky situation. We attack and pop Super Snipe. Infantry attack and Super Snipe. Super Snipe. Alright, here we go. Grit in the house. Getting the attacks. Clearing an infantry. Beautiful. Sitting the recon on the HQ. Alright. That guy's not going anywhere right now. Oh, another additional artillery strike. Mech moving up. Taking out another infantry. Blocking the city. Blocking the tank in. And building a tank of their own. Alright. All things considered, you know, not the worst Super Snipe in the world. We did manage to find quite a few hits that we were able to do. So, and we basically stopped the push over on the left-hand side. I don't really see too much that mooji can do. Could bring the battlecopter in. Tank's not in position to push in here. There's not really any effective 2 hits on this guy. Yeah, no, I think he might be fine. More or less, at least. I think mooji might have to pull back after that one, but we'll see. Mooji is one of the best Fog of War players in the live league, that is for sure. So let's see what he comes up with. Oh, he breaks the tank out and snipes the artillery. Brings the rest of the units over to the left-hand side. Brings the recon back, gets vision. And it's just going to allow the city in the middle to go. Which is not really a bad idea. Considering that it's 17 to 21 properties at the moment. You know, he can afford to let one property go. Yeah, eliminating the vision. Mooji is down to 50 seconds. Down to 50 seconds, though. This is the one thing that I find quite often when I watch mooji games, is he's kind of really low on time most of the time. Which is fine. It's not necessarily a bad thing to be low on time. Especially when you think over your moves quite a bit. But once you get into, like, you know, the day 15 and onward, you know, it becomes pretty difficult to play on increment like that. So we'll see how he does here with limited time. 2 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock. Does find a few good hits here. Eliminates the artillery. So now Grit has basically no artillery. Over on the left-hand side, it is down to the tanks and the battlecopters. 1 artillery in the back lines. But it would have to base lock itself if it wants to attack. Tricky situation. Alright, day 16. Looks like Spritemare is going to be able to acquire 1 more property, though. And that will make this a 19-19 game once he acquires that property. So let's see him get it. Let's see him get it. We're all cheering for Spritemare here, folks. We want some tactical grid action over here. Acquires it 19-19 now. And is going for another property. So putting a lot of pressure on, but one of those artillery are very vulnerable behind this city over here. This guy right here, if mooji goes in with any one of these 3 units, that gets hit. But, I mean, 1 artillery to back it up is not so bad. Anti-air hiding in the forest just in case it's a battlecopter. Might work out for him. You never know. You never know, folks. This is Live League. Boom. Ooh, so now the question. Alright, that was a 1 HP crash. Now the question is he going to go in on the right-hand side with the remaining units, or is he just going to let that artillery sit there? The left-hand side just took a massive damage over here, but yeah, mooji pops the power. Gotta pop the power at this point. Oh, he goes in for the attack, but doesn't bring the battlecopter in. Very smart. Very smart. Doesn't want to risk the battlecopter hit. Interesting. Ooh, and now Spritemare does not really have a whole lot of units in order to actually fend off these tanks over on the right-hand side now. He does have an anti-air in position on the left to take out one of the battlecopters, though, eliminating another infantry with the combo attack. Builds another artillery. Another battlecopter. That's pretty much all we can do here, folks. We gotta build the... Those are the builds that we do, folks. We need a battlecopter, we need an artillery, we need infantry. That's pretty much it. That's all we need. Alright, Sasha, boom, dropping. Mooji, increment, 2 minutes. Desperately forcing out whatever thoughts come to his mind when it comes to movements here. But is acquiring one of the properties. Pops another market crash. I think that's going to be a pretty good market crash as well. Alright, are we going to get the builds out? Managed to move all of his units, though, in 1 minute and 34 seconds. So not too shabby at all. Banks 20 seconds. Now, what is Grit going to do? Well, he's going to do Grit things, folks. He's going to take out an anti-air, take out a tank. Can't... Poor Grit, man. Grit just doesn't have the firepower to interrupt. Even though he's got 2 comm towers. So technically, I think he's like, what? Yeah, that's like a base battlecopter. Normal firepower battlecopter. Doesn't even do 1 damage. And technically, that is the defense of an HQ, so it's up to 40% defense on that city, but still, you know, you hate to see it, folks. You hate to see it, especially when both of the battlecopters ended up blowing up. It's not the best thing. Oh, another battlecopter left hanging, and another attack on an anti-air, but this 6 HP anti-air survives and is now going to be able to hit that battlecopter. So we're going to have a pretty good time here, folks. Mooji doing a big front shift over to the left-hand side. Might be planning on a massive HQ push over here. Oh, and Spritemare going for the full surround. Trying to get that property. Pops the power. Okay, what are we going to do with the power now? Eliminating the vision. Not too shabby. Loop around. Wrap around. Wow. 90% damage. Not too shabby at all. Going for a double hit. Probably would like to see it blocked off over here, but not really a huge deal. Might be... I don't know. I don't really know what the process or thought process with that one is, but it doesn't really matter. You know, things have been blown up. Should probably use this black boat to refuel this guy and get him a few extra pieces of ammunition, but kind of minor there, folks. Mooji, 2 minutes 34 seconds on the clock. Let's see this front shift. What is he going to do with this one? He's got an infantry right by the HQ. Oh, the fattest front shift in advancements by Web, folks. There is so much threatening this HQ now, but we are against Grit, so, I mean, indirects are going to be able to pop that HQ. Spritemare acquires a property. Oh, no. The Soiled Abomination has made its appearance in this map, folks. From Grit. Ugh. Yeah. It's terrible. Now, I understand the thought process with the Soiled Abomination. I think what Spritemare really wants to do is he wants to get the Neo Tank on the HQ. He's very afraid that Mooji is going to be able to push in and take that HQ. So he wants to acquire the Neo Tank to get on the HQ. An HQ cap is now starting. And nearly a full surround as well. Oh my god, the amount of battlecopters that are in position over here. Oh, doesn't? Oh. Doesn't attack the one. Okay, he's going for the HQ attack. Okay. This is fine. Definitely got to be attacking that HQ, though. This is a very dangerous situation. You don't want a unit to be sitting on your HQ. Pops the fighter. Okay. Fighter. This is what it's all about, folks. If he can clear the HQ and get the fighter on the HQ, we have no problem We have no problem. No threat of the HQ. Well, now we have a threat of the HQ. We didn't have a problem until the anti-air showed up. But if he can get the fighter onto the HQ, he'll be having a good time. But there are so many units in the way now. And that is a capture. Oh, and the market crash. Okay, that eliminates the chance of getting the co-power. Oh, what a play by mooji over here. Manages to find the right stuff here and builds the classy void of the sky. And now it is Spritemare's turn. Is there any possibility? 37,000? No. Unfortunately, I do not see any way to get to the HQ. What a absolutely great play by mooji here, managing to snipe that HQ. Fantastic match by both of them. What a epic showdown. And it just goes to show that, you know, sometimes, even though Grit is considered a broken CO in standard format, in Fog of War, it's not as broken as he could be. Still super strong, but not as broken as he could be. Hopefully you all enjoyed that one. If you did, consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and, oops, bye-bye for now.